Well, welcome. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the May Contain Action podcast, where your two favorite content creators, only two, talk content, pop culture, gaming, other important subjects, and obviously mess up words. I'm one of your hosts, Paul ActionJaxon. My co-host is future Hall of Famer, pitcher Trevor May, aka I Am Trevor Man Everything.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, bud.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm well.
Cool.
This is our first time talking today, so this is nice.
This is nice.
This is nice. Today, we have a very special guest. Our friend, good friend, amazing streamer on Twitch. He's also a very active person. He's cut like a knife. All right. Ripped. The one and only Fearitself, everybody.
Thank you. Hey,
Woo!
buds.
Yeah. Fear.
How's it going?
Fear. Favorite city now. Seattle. Woo!
Seattle. Love it. What an intro, by the
on his
way.
abs.
That's a work in progress. I'm excited.
Woo!
This is gonna be my
dude?
first podcast ever.
First
ever
podcast
podcast?
ever. You've never been on a podcast.
Never been on a podcast,
2019, you haven't been on a podcast.
and I haven't listened to any of your guys' podcasts yet.
Wow.
Here we are.
Reason being,
Wow.
I wanted this to
a
be
treat.
the most organic, special experience possible.
Organic.
You know.
All right. I
So
appreciate
thanks
it.
for having me.
That's how I have most of my fruits. Glad to have you.
Pesticides are bad. Seattle.
Did you just echo? And that's
A little bit, maybe. I don't know why.
they're bad.
That's kind of weird. I don't know how that happened.
Well, Fear, we obviously want to get to know you a little bit better.
Sure.
And so, as our guest, we have a couple of questions to kind of help us get to know you better. Because actually, obviously, we've known each other for a bit now. I think almost about a year.
Yeah.
And we've hung out and everything, but our guests don't. So I'm looking forward to learning more about you. And so our guests, our listeners / viewers on YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
Fire away.
Hello, YouTube.
So first one, where did your name Fear Itself come from?
Ooh, great question.
Because that's an aggressive name.
Just click command name in the chat and you could find out.
Command name. Okay. Well,
Get
we'll wait for everyone to do that.
All right. So this was.
Read it to us.
This was six. Was this? This was either I think freshman year of high school.
Ooh.
Like 25 years ago.
This is yes. Before all the listeners were born, freshman year of high school.
years ago.
This was during the time Xbox Live, Halo 2 days was a new thing.
Love that.
So you had to make a gamer tag.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I was in, I think, chemistry class or whatever freshman science classes, and the presidential speech from FDR came to my head. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. And so I was like,
Interesting.
I will be the fear itself that,
Everyone
nothing to
fears.
fear but fear itself. I'll be that fear itself.
Wow. That is dark.
Me is the ominous 15-year-old kid I was.
That's similar to like a Batman Dark Knight origin story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just
Wait,
turned out to be,
fear in
not
the dark.
Yeah.
it turned out to be not a pretty solid, non-cringy name, because it's avoiding that back then as a teenager is in the Halo days, it's like everyone was Sniper 25 60 or something like that, and
Exactly.
maybe the one good thing I did in all of high school.
So you also mentioned with your name that you were like in chemistry class. How is this related? And why did you think of FDR's speech in chemistry class?
No idea why. It's the only photographic memory that I have of the moment.
Okay.
And I was just in middle of school, and I was
You're
like,
mixing chemicals, and all of a sudden,
yeah.
You were like, I
Magic.
can't wait to get home and stop doing this
Yes.
What am I
Stop
gonna
going to
do
school.
tonight?
Yep.
Comes out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
been there.
Been there.
looking on Atlas Loots for a while, figuring out what I was going to win in the raid tonight. That's what I was doing.
Mhm.
That's
Wow,
awesome.
nerd. That's a huge.
So that's so what we're starting to see a theme every time we ask this question. It has something to do with someone making their first either PlayStation Live or Xbox Live
Yeah.
game, and they didn't want to
Yes.
do it. Yeah, they didn't want to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, at least you in a server.
Randomized. So they're like, oh, they're looking around, like trying to think of stuff.
Yeah.
Yours was, I mean, frankly, a Sivers is literally Visa backwards because she was looking at a Visa card.
Yep.
And
No
then just
way.
Rachel, what's her? It's her initials.
Their middle
RS.
name.
Okay. Oh, I assumed it was like
Visa
her.
backwards RS.
That's super random.
It is super random, but guess what? There are none. She's the only one.
She's the only one.
Mission
There you
accomplished,
go.
I guess. Mission
There you go.
accomplished. All right, so we figured out a good format for this little first section where he asked that first question, then I hit you with the second one because this is kind of my
Hit him with the trap.
this is my thing.
Hit him with the trap.
What is your favorite fast food restaurant?
Boom.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We're talking current or all time?
Well, honestly, in your current
Both.
state, I wouldn't imagine that you've ever consumed fast food to
right.
keep your 2% body fat physique. So
Paul is really building me up. I should probably start working out again.
you should really.
This move has just laid waste to my physical appearance. We'll get into that later. Growing up, it was Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich,
Oh, of course.
honey mustard sauce, just
Absolutely.
fire. Right now, if I were to get fast food,
Mm-hmm.
it
Mhm.
would, man.
Mm.
When is the last time I went to a fast food?
It's
Arby's.
been
I think
that long.
I'm gonna have to go Wendy's and no. All right, scratch Wendy's. It's Arby's. It's a toss up
Okay.
between Wendy's and
Arby's.
Arby's. No
this
one's
is-
ever gonna hear Arby's.
You're right. They're never gonna say Arby's.
They're
It's
never
not-
gonna say Arby's because there's so much nostalgia around Arby's for me in my childhood. We had an Arby's crew. We
Okay.
called ourselves the Arby's.
This is right.
This is real. So we would eat playing, landing in my parents' basement, Halo
Yeah.
2, the glory days,
Mm-hmm.
stay up all night. We had this 24-hour Arby's that we would go to at like the
Yeah.
most absurd times in the morning.
Oh my
And we
God.
were so like cracked out on energy drinks and just no sleep that one day we decided to like ache an Arby's song on the way to
Stop.
Arby's. We sang, and all we did was someone would just chant something about Arby's, whether it's the roast beef sandwich, someone would chant roast beef sandwich, someone would chant the squeeze cheese, the cheese they put on it, and someone would just yell squeeze cheese, roast beef sandwich, roast beef sandwich, roast beef sandwich, and we called ourselves the Arby's crew, and it was the happiest times of my life. Shout out to all the Arby's crew members. It was a very, very illustrious crew. You weren't like a lot of my good friends couldn't even get in because they weren't on the inaugural Arby's crew trip.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Wow.
Arby's.
Arby's crew.
I had an Arby's
was
crew.
this Arby's like walking distance?
No, we took my mom and dad's big Astro van that we
Of
fit
course
about
you did.
6 people into,
There you go.
and we would just,
to
blare
Arby's.
music and
That was
go to
Taco Bell.
Arby's.
So that's why I
That's-
have a soft spot for Taco Bell. I always talk about like Taco Bell is obviously just horrible for you. But
Yeah.
again, I would be 4 amps deep. I ate an entire thing
100%.
of powdered donuts. The raid just got over, but I had to do all my dailies for the day that just rolled over to another day at 3 a.m. So now I have to do all those before I go to bed. So
Yep.
we're going to Taco Bell, get some cheesy gordita crunches to get this thing going. So that it's the same thing. It's
Yeah,
but
You wouldn't chant cheesy gordita whenever you got into your
I don't
Astro
remember ever
van.
doing that. It's
Well,
entirely possible, but I don't remember.
Yeah, he probably didn't have a crew to do it. He didn't have a Taco Bell crew.
I honestly, I appreciate. By the way, if I'm coughing, I'm a little sick. I appreciate the level of creativity in the name.
Yeah.
Arby's Crew, you know?
Arby's Crew. Yeah.
The Arby's Crew.
Poetic.
Rolls off the tongue.
That's amazing.
Shout out to all the Arby's Crew members. They're all still with us. You know who you are.
Started from the bottom. Now look at us.
We haven't lost any yet.
Hey, look at us. You know? Would have thought. That's amazing. No one. Also, I want to point out that I think every time we've asked this question, we have almost always said, "Well, it's not going to be Arby's." Am I right? Am I right, guys? It's not going to be Arby's.
And now we're just
True.
like,
I don't think anyone goes to Arby's anymore.
Arby's, yeah, good.
Yeah, that's good.
Ever since they took away the 5 for 5, it's just been downhill.
It's been downhill. 100. Oh, dude, I said that on like one of the episodes. I was like,
100%.
I used to love Arby's because they did the 5 for 5, and that was like a part of my childhood.
And then what a deal!
It became like 5 for $5.95.
Yeah, and then it just went up from there. It went up from there.
$5.95, you know. But they do one positive still. I'll still give them this. Their milkshakes. They have a Ghirardelli milkshake, so it's like Ghirardelli chocolate syrup.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it's like a gourmet chocolate syrup milkshake. But like, I don't need any food. I'm like, can I get some fries and a shake, please? That's it. Curly fries and a shake. Get the squeezed cheese away from me.
You're like, would you like a sandwich? No, don't. No, thank you. It's free. We give them away now. No. Please.
No, shake's good. Thank you. 32 ounces. Thank you.
So, Fear, this kind of actually dabbles into this a little bit because you kind of mentioned you had the Arby's Crew, right? So this next question is, what did you do before streaming? Right. So obviously eat Arby's, but more than that, what did you do before streaming? And when did you decide to go full time with streaming or with content creation, as it were?
So prior, I got my start in professional Halo, like right out of high school, kind of in the towards the end, senior year of high school.
So you had no job up to that point.
I had a busboy job. Didn't last long. Maybe 2 or 3 busboy jobs. I think that might have been it.
What restaurant? Was this like an Olive Garden?
Yeah, kind of like a kind of everything restaurant.
Okay, all right. I'm feeling some hesitation here.
I don't remember the name of it. It's closed down.
Totally.
It wasn't a chain. I don't think it was a chain.
Wasn't
Must
a chain.
have meant a lot to you. Yeah.
Yeah, it really kept me grounded.
Clearly.
And then I got into professional Halo for a very long time. I was out of high school, had no idea what I wanted to do after high school. My parents we grew up very, middle class, lower class. And they're like, yeah, we can't pay for your college. And I was like, well, I don't know what I want to do, so I'm not going to go to college. At the time I was making kids don't do this. I threw all my eggs into the professional Halo basket. I was traveling around, playing professional Halo and doing pretty well. So I was like, I'm making pretty good money with this. Let's see where this goes. I'm going to put, school on the back burner. And it kind of took off from there. I did that. There's a whole, story. And that's kind of, that was my life pretty much up until my mid 20s.
Wow. That's a big risk. I feel like back then there was no foreseeable future in gaming. There's no retirement plan. It was play games.
That was my very immature mindset.
Yeah.
Luckily it worked out because I got to a point where I was on the best team in the world. Then that brought sponsorships and that brought, tournament winnings. So it was sustainable, but longevity, the Halo scene kind of was on the decline. The games got worse. The community got cut in half after like Halo 3. Money fell out of the sport, the scene in general.
Would you put that decline on the split, like on the creation of the second game or the third game, rather?
Wholeheartedly. It was when Bungie created Halo up until that was the studios that they basically were responsible for Halo 1 through Halo 3, and then Halo Reach. In between Halo 3 and Halo Reach is when they were already like making their plans to leave Microsoft and do their own thing and create Destiny. What was it? It's
Destiny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Destiny. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that wasn't it. So they kind of half-assed Halo Reach, threw it together, and that was kind of like the beginning of the end for Halo. And then it's just got worse from there. So, yeah, and then Halo Reach, and then it was Halo 4, which was the worst thing known to mankind, and that just literally just killed Halo. So, progressively got out of the Halo scene, and then I left professional the esports scene completely. I got into real estate.
Wow.
This was a couple. I think this was when I was. This was like. So I did real estate before I jumped back into the gaming world for a very short stint. Couple years. Why is my computer just blacked out? All right, I'm back. So it was professional Halo and then real estate, and then I again put everything on the back burner and threw all my eggs into full-time streaming when I saw what was developing in the Fortnite world and the streaming world in general,
Yeah.
So that was last April.
Wow.
2018 April.
Yeah.
So it's coming up on 2 years in April.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You've barely been streaming. All things considered.
Yes.
I mean, 2 years is 2 years.
Did you stream it all before that?
We got I was signed with Cloud9 for a year in 2015 for Halo, when Halo had their first like World Cup. It was Worlds for Halo. It was like the first $1 million Halo tournament, and Cloud9 got into the scene, and we had some streaming requirements, so I was actually partnered before I even like streamed it all. It was kind of like, back in the Twitter days when they just handed out check marks for free. It was like Twitch. I got a free check mark on Twitch before I even like had to do anything. So it was kind of lucky, very lucky. Yeah, incredible. But it wasn't like anything full time. It wasn't even part time. It was like when I would practice Halo with my team, I had like a 40-hour a month requirement in my contract with Cloud9. That was it.
A month.
A month, 40 hours. Yeah.
Jeez,
that's not bad. That's a lot less than you stream now, huh? Well, with the exception of this last month, but
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I hit 12 hours this month.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But
so Halo, professional Halo, and real estate. That was it. That was what I did.
Real estate.
And that's awesome. That's awesome. I knew about the professional Halo. You played with. Were you and Ninja on the same team, or were you just like? Did you play against each other?
Ninja got into the scene after Halo 3, so I think he was technically too young. So we were on a team in 2011 for an event or two. Okay. Yeah. So Halo Reach for a year. That was it.
Okay, I got you. All right. Okay. So another very important question we have on the show, we try to learn about content creators and what makes them tick and what they're into and all that kind of stuff. What is your favorite social media platform, and which one do you not use enough?
Wow. Okay. So social media platform that I like the most would probably be Twitter. Just, as far as interaction with your friends, celebrities, just like, media in general, probably Twitter. Instagram, I do not use enough. I fall into the just looking and not creating enough on Instagram, you know, because I've never been me as a person, me as a human, as an upbringing. I've never been like, ooh, look at me. Look at how awesome my life is. That's very hard for me to do. I'm very, not, vain. I don't like to I don't know. I just feel weird. I'm just coming off as a douche. Like, look at my life,
Yeah.
So it's hard to, I need to just get better at hey, this is your job now. You need to do this,
Exactly.
So I'm still trying to find a good home for what, works for me and works for my audience. And yeah, I just need to, so Instagram would be where I need to use more for sure.
I'm definitely definitely in that camp as well. I to be honest, I rode the Fortnite wave along with I think everyone in this podcast today did. But and a lot of it was clips of just events and stuff. Now they don't do the events near as much. It's definitely gotten way and Fortnite's definitely plateaued, but which is fine. Every game does, and it's carved out. It's carved out its viewership, and it's carved out its player base, and other games are becoming more fun. But the thing is, when it comes to Instagram specifically, Fortnite was literally the best clippable game where you could just kind of, I don't want to say recycle, but you could just double dip. You could just throw something funny up there and throw it on Twitter. It's the same thing. And it worked everywhere. And now that stuff kind of, right now it's I've literally spent a lot of time thinking about, okay, now I play Call of Duty a lot with which I love now because we can have a group of 6 people and we can all play together.
That's what's the best part. Yes.
That's the best part by far. And so trying, you got to do a little bit more work, but making kind of what makes that funny is just all of us tilting or getting mad or whatever. And there's funny situations we get in. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that on Instagram. But the problem is everyone falls for Fortnite. So usually when you stop posting, you just see a huge, every time you post something, you see people leave and you're like, I see make post, right?
Exactly.
But you have to. That's what it's for. You just got to find what's good, and I mean, and I think that it just takes a little bit of work, and sometimes Paul, what Paul does a really good job of, I feel like, is he's got some good. You got a bunch of good professional taking photos from events and stuff that you have, just
on the back burner.
Pounds. Yeah, just to kind of get up,
just waiting it up. Oh,
I kind of try to do that with baseball.
Post. I got a little Christmas post I'm going to post later.
No, I agree. I think it's this for everyone that rode the Fortnite wave. It's an interesting just kind of transition period going on right now where, pretty much all the juice has been squeezed out of the fruit. And so now it's dang, I don't want to, it's I don't want to post another Fortnite clip, but it's so I'm very well, now I need to tap into being a content creator that I am. And, I got to start pulling from, others. So it's an interesting, we're definitely going through a transition of new games, new content, trying to brainstorm ideas. This podcast probably, is a product of that thought alone,
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and I think it's fun to talk about. I like talking about it like we are right now about the transition that people are going through, because people watch and they're like, oh, content creators, they just make content, but dude, sometimes you're what game do I play, because nothing's fun, or
writer's block. 100% writer's block
is writer's block, and
writer's block.
You run out of ideas, and also keeping up on every platform or stuff. It's just not as easy as you think it is, especially if maybe you're not the funniest person on the planet, but you're a really good player. Sometimes people don't want to watch the good player in that game anymore, or vice versa. You're really funny, but you suck. I'm pointing at myself. You can't see me, but I'm pointing at myself. And you have to figure out why do people watch me, and then triple down on that, and then really triple down on it while you're streaming at the same time. But
for sure,
I think people listening are, I didn't think about how that could be hard, right? So maybe it gives you a little bit of slack, and if you're in a transition, whatever, and you're really, what am I trying to say? You're really loyal viewers are okay, numbers might dip here a little bit, and but we're going to keep this thing strong, and then as we move on to the next thing that makes this fun. Exactly.
Justin too, I also have a very don't like to show off my life kind of a mentality, where it feels vain to post a photo about things. It gets easier, I guess, once you start to rip off the band-aid and just start doing it, because the reason that I would post anything is never at least in my case, never to like show off this or that, but to give someone a peek behind the curtain type of a thing. Like, hey, this is my life. This is what I do. People are interested in that for the most part, at least in Instagram's concerned. And as I've done it more, it's gotten a little bit easier, but it's still
it's
still difficult.
Try like Paul, in my sweet intro, talked my body up to about as high as you can do it.
There you go,
sweet chiseled quote. I'm quoting it. These are hard quotes.
Can't hard. It's hard quotes. That's hard. Yeah, dude.
But like, hey, that's like great content. Fitness on Instagram is a huge space, and it's just I need to. That's just where I'm going to. Up, dude. It's just, and you look at my Instagram, there is very minimal. Like, look at my body. Look how much I work out like this. And it's just, I gotta, rip the Band-Aid slowly.
Yeah, I'm the same way with baseball, man. It's a huge part of my life, but at the same time, like, I'm like, everyone on Instagram follows me for like vast majority. So like, I post baseball and it just gets less, and it just gets less everything. But dude, I'm a major league, like I'm not gonna not. That's something very unique. So I'm actually figuring out ways to leverage that a little bit better too. It's all interesting. I mean, who knows, man? Maybe there's a situation here soon where me and Marcel take you to all the best restaurants in Seattle and make a video. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
We'll do it.
Blog.
Well, speaking of games and kind of how it's all brought us, almost all of us to this point. What is your Justin? Can I call you Justin? Is that all right?
Well, you can call me Justin.
Okay, Justin, I'd love to call you Justin.
Sure.
Justin, what is your favorite game to play? Period. Right. And then what is your favorite game to create content with, and why?
Like now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Moment. Even in this transition, what's your favorite?
So favorite game all time that I could play for hours on end and never get bored of has to be Halo CE, the original, the first.
Halo C. Oh, Common Evolved. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Halo 1, by far, the 2v2s in Halo 1 is probably one of the best games ever created. Competitively. Just never gets bored. If you've never experienced competitive Halo 1 2v2, never. Which a lot of like today's audience didn't, because the game came out in 2001 and was pretty much dead by 2004.
Yep.
It's one of I have friends that I grew up with still play it weekly, once to twice a week. They still have like an original setup in their basement, and they still play Halo 1 2v2s. They still talk trash to each other in group chat about it. It's like, Halo 1 for sure will always be that game that I could play for hours, and I would never get bored of it.
You don't often hear necessarily a shooter for that,
right? Yeah,
that's amazing. Even a shooter as old as that, I would feel would be more nostalgia. Hey, we played a couple rounds, that was fun. Now let's play, XYZ game. But wow, that's a lot of love for Halo 1.
Yeah, and it's such a hardcore community that I think only the people that play it and have experienced it, they are the only ones that can kind of relate to that.
I see.
Because it's the game is incredible. Create content. I mean, it's got to be. I'd probably be lying if I didn't say Fortnite.
Yeah.
I still, because me as a gamer, in my DNA, it's still competitive. I love games with high skill ceilings, that challenge you, that are hard to play. I never was into the gaming side of like just being a hardcore video gamer. I literally played only Halo this is something probably a lot of people don't know about me. If you take away like regular Nintendo 64, like Super Nintendo, like stuff you played as a kid growing up.
Yeah, the very
like Mario and Super Smash Brothers and all those. I mean, I played regular Nintendo. If you want to know how old I am, like Contra
that
on
on
regular,
release day?
Contra and regular Nintendo. Yeah.
Never made Contra.
Yes.
Saving Nicaragua from aliens, dude.
Exactly. From the moment Halo came out, I never played another game for 15 years.
Whoa.
I want to say. Never played a Call of Duty until Blackout came out last year.
Wait,
and did like Call of Duty Blackout. Like
the BR.
The BR.
Yeah.
Never played Call of Duty once. Never picked it up. Growing up with a controller, it was Halo for 15 years.
That
because
is hardcore, bruh.
It's hardcore, bruh. Hardcore, bruh.
Goodness.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Insane.
I mean, Halo's just a better game. Sorry to all the calls. It's just a better.
Better.
More.
But that was
more skill is, you know.
That was the thing, right? Because Call of Duty was only on PlayStation. And Halo was only on Xbox, right?
I believe so.
PlayStation.
At least the beginning.
I think. I believe so. I didn't.
I think from the very beginning. I think the first one and the first one they were split. So like it was based on the console you played. So everyone was like, I think so. And then Call of Duty or Modern Warfare 2 was definitely on Xbox because I played it on Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh,
and Call of Duty didn't blow up until Halo died. Essentially, I don't know if it's
wow
how that correlates or not, but like Halo died, like because we had Halo tournaments back in Major League Gaming, and Call of Duty was like, sorry to all like the redheaded stepchildren out there, they at the events they were just off in the corner and they had their own little space and no one really that compared to the Halo was just it. Much bigger scene, more fans, more money. Like Call of Duty was like we kind of made fun of the Call of Duty community, and then now, yeah, it was like because it was just the game. It didn't take as much skill. The time to kill in Call of Duty is like a second.
Yeah.
You don't really need as much FPS skill. Halo, it just was a higher skill gap, higher, and that is like me to a core. I'm going to attach myself to a game that takes a lot of skill to play. And that's kind of why I fell in love with Fortnite. The moment I saw Fortnite, I was like, there's something to this game. I'm going to love to play this game. And I haven't had that feeling outside of Halo.
Yeah.
Until Fortnite.
Yeah. Wow.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Also, just a quick note, a footnote, if you will, to anyone that's listening to this or watching. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, according to Wikipedia, was a game released by Microsoft on Nintendo DS, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360 on November 7th, 2007. So it was actually multi-platform released, just in case we weren't.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that.
Okay.
But as far as time to kill, right? How long are these matches taking in Halo compared to like a 2v2? Like right now we have gunfight. Modern Warfare is gunfight. I don't know if you've played it or not.
Yeah, I have.
You're having much bigger maps in Halo, right? With a lot longer time to kill. And that was more in your mind and in the Halo community's mind, more difficult.
Halo was more, the maps were just symmetrical.
Okay.
It was like a circle and you split it down the middle. One team spawns on one side, the other team spawns on the other side.
I see.
It just it was very balanced. And yeah, the time to kill is, I don't know, like 4 or 5 seconds. Like with Halo 2, you needed to hit 4 headshots in a row, and there's like a slower pace to it. So you have to keep, your tracking has to be on point, longer. Like the gunplay, while you're jumping, while you're strafing, the gunplay in Halo compared to COD, it's just COD's more of like a spray and pray. If I see you first, you're pretty much dead. In Halo, there's more. The time to kill is higher, so it gives more time for like to outplay someone where your skill will show. So that's kind of why Halo kind of pulled me in. It just was, Halo 2 was my childhood. It's probably one of the greatest games ever. I think we all probably could relate to that.
Oh,
if you're
100%.
over the age of, I don't know, 18.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Call of Duty, that's just the main difference. And I more so fall in love with games that look cartoony, that aren't like the realistic. For some reason, I never liked the look of like my games to look like how they, I don't know, like the Call of Duty feel or the PUBG feel. I don't like to my eye. My eye doesn't, for some reason, latch on to games like that. Like that's why I kind of fell in love with Fortnite, because I don't know, like triggers something in the brain when you see all these like, I don't know, these colors, and that's kind of what Halo was. It was like flat surfaces, base colors, not like, you know, those realistic games. My eyes, I get lost in those. I can't like see in those games for some reason.
You can't see in the realistic ones.
Can't see any. Yeah, no. Like when Call of Duty the new Call of Duty came out, and I can't see a damn thing in some of those maps.
Either, dude.
I can't see a damn thing. I don't know how people like play that as like a professional sport. I would go nuts.
It's a lot of effort to just see someone, and then like you said, in a game where first person to see the other person is so important. It's frustrating, especially.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, just watch an hour of Tim the Tatman play. You know, the new Call of Duty. That's kind of like
15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
It's great.
You know,
it's great on YouTube, so it's worth it. All right, awesome. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Especially, I picked up Fortnite, same thing. Especially to be able to, you get shot and then you build something and then you reset the fight. And
of course.
it's now even or even-ish to where you're not just getting melted immediately and then you go, run your head through that same wall again in 5 seconds. Yeah, so I think that's why that got me out of PUBG real quick, because I played PUBG before Fortnite. So anywho, we got another segment here where we like to talk about something relevant in the gaming space. I think that you, as a longtime professional player, are going to have some good input on our topic today. Okay. Before we get into that topic, you haven't talked about it yet. How is you recently were signed by Evil Geniuses, correct?
Correct.
Congratulations.
And you moved to Seattle, my hometown, and in my opinion, one of the greatest cities that ever exist. Okay. You very clearly could not have that opinion at this moment. Because how long did it take you to get internet?
2 weeks, I want to say.
2 weeks. 2 weeks with no centralized internet apartment. Which internet. Is just ridiculous. Which, to be honest, I've had the experience the same way, and not here, but in other places I was playing in and stuff. So overall, how has your move been? And how are you doing right now?
It is probably one of the most challenging things I've done in a long time. I've moved, but I've never moved like this. It would always be like, moving out of the city of Chicago, just putting everything in a U-Haul. And, I literally got here with clothes and work equipment and an empty townhouse. So I'm talking scratch. I am just the bank is open. If you guys want money, I've been pissing money out left and right for the past 3 weeks. It was super challenging. I got here with nothing, but day one was a car, and then it's like, well, I need to furnish an entire place. And then I ran into some some getting internet in here, so it was, and I have unlimited data on my phone, but once I hit, a data limit, they just throttle you and throttle you. And so I couldn't post I couldn't post videos. I couldn't load web pages. So I'm just I slept on the floor for 2 weeks on a mattress, because there was just delays in my shipments of my bedroom set. And I ran into, internet setup because the place we moved into didn't have jacks. Cable jacks, cable lines to run into the house.
Before? I don't understand.
I don't know.
This is one of the most technologically advanced cities in the United States, and somehow your apartment has no jacks for it.
I don't know. Sense. So we would have, an ISP provider show up, and they'd just be like, "Yeah, you don't have means for us to even get you internet." I was like, oh wow, this is not good.
You know that before you moved in,
I
it was
did.
like beautiful
I
2-bedroom apartment. Doesn't have any internet. Great
that
kind
didn't
of
make the
community.
Zillow list. Yeah, they didn't
Wow.
post about that. But
Amazing.
I'm up. I have, the bare essentials now. I just got we're up and running now. And
Good.
so now I'm basically at the, needing to decorate phase.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can make it. Just take your time. You know.
Yeah.
But I do
You
have a
don't need
funny story
decorations.
that
We love funny stories.
well, you guys saw on Twitter. I had a visitor 2 nights ago. It was around midnight o'clock. Midnight.
Midnight o'clock, of course.
This was at the time you shouldn't be up and having visitors.
Yes.
Luckily I was up because I think I just recently got home from the gym.
Naturally,
and naturally, the physique is just crazy.
Outstanding.
I hear a knock at the door, and I'm thinking, like, is that my door? It's the front door, and our door doesn't have like a peephole, and so I kind of just stick my head by the door, and I'm like kind of like beside myself. I'm like, hello. And he's like, and the first thing he opens with is, "It's your neighbor. Can you open the door?" And I was like, I didn't even respond. I was like, hello? What do you want? It's like, "It's your neighbor. Just open the door." And I was like, what do you want? Because I didn't have I couldn't see him.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I was like, I was very close to just opening the door. I had to check myself as a man. I'm like, can I, as a man, take out this other man?
Well, I mean, you're sore from the gym, maybe a little bit sweaty still.
Yeah.
You can't really fully.
UCL, I'll be like, dude, what do you want? Like, come on.
All my calorie reserves were just spent at the gym.
They're
I'm very
spent.
Yeah, I was
And
spent.
he knew it.
Luckily, there is a window, so I walk to the left and I open the blinds, and there is a homeless guy at my door trying to play it off like he's my neighbor. And he just felt like it was acceptable to knock on my door at midnight and throw me his sales pitch. And he just wanted $8 to. He goes. The best part was, he said, "I just need $8 to go to the the homeless shelter and take a shower and whatever." The best thing he said was, "If you give me $8, I'll never knock on your door again." I go, "You're damn right. You're never gonna knock on my door again. It's midnight." And I gave him the classic line, "Sorry, I only carry plastic. I don't have any cash." And that was the honest truth. Like, I might have had $1. I certainly didn't have $8. I mean,
Certainly didn't have $8
down at the door.
Yes, I didn't know how to even get him these dollars. I wasn't gonna he could just bum rush the door.
That's true.
I was, but anyways, it's been a challenge, but
I've never heard anything like that.
I mean,
ever.
How do you handle that kind of a situation safely?
Yeah, you really don't. You just never open the door. Yeah, that was the best. Yeah, that was the only way to do it. But I think I'm really gonna like it. Seattle's a very beautiful city.
There it
I've
is.
heard good things about here it is. Yeah, there. I hear the summers are great. And I literally moved from Chicago, so this will be a breeze. Everyone's like, you came during the bad times. It's the rainy season. I'm like, well, try living in Chicago, or anywhere in the Midwest or East Coast during the winter, and I mean, it was negative 60 degrees last year. We had a bomb cyclone. Like, this will be.
Oh, that's right.
You remember the bomb cyclone? I don't know if it hit New Jersey. I think it hit New Jersey and New York.
Yeah.
It was literally negative 60 with the wind chill. So I'm like, this is great. This will be a breeze. But no, I'm excited.
Good.
I'm excited to be a part of an organization. Have a new city, new friends. I get to hang out with Trevor and Marcel now, and
it's exciting.
How far you know where I live. How far away are you? I don't know where you live. Obviously, you don't have to give me your address on
Give
the
me the address to
Yeah,
it.
they'll never know. My
Do
PO,
it.
if I have a PO box in this area anyway, so be able to know what area generally I am in. So
Okay.
I'm in West Seattle, so it's just like not to get to Capitol Hill it's like a 15-minute Uber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Oh,
like
nice.
yeah, so
I just wasn't sure if you're, shacked up in the
I think
in the
Marcel's
mountains.
actually closer. No,
Yeah,
no,
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 In the
Shack-
no. It's not like so. We actually don't know exactly. So Gubba is technically in Seattle.
Yeah, I
But she
spoke with
lives on the east side. She probably lives like 40 minutes away. She just says
Yeah,
she
she
lives.
said
It's just
she was
easier to say that.
Seattle. Yeah.
She definitely has way more pictures of her like
in the mountains.
In the
woods
mountains.
and in the mountains
Yes.
a lot.
Yes.
So yeah, cool. So I'm glad you got a lot of that figured out. That I was really like, he's gonna leave, and then
He's gonna hate it here.
you're here. To be honest, I wasn't aware that Evil Geniuses was based here either, so that's kind of cool.
I had no idea.
They recently, I think it's been about a year. I think at the beginning of this year is
Very recent.
Very cool.
Yeah, they got new investment and they based in Seattle, and they're in Redmond, but they're
Redmond.
moving offices to downtown soon. So
Because Redmond's like for people who don't know, that's where Microsoft is and Bungie and Valve. They're all based in Redmond.
Oh, they're all there. Cool.
Yeah. So that it's just cheap. It was just cheaper earlier to like put your headquarters there. But now everyone's moving downtown because they're building all these huge like skyscrapers with tons of office space in them. So there's a bunch of tech companies actually moving downtown, which you would think isn't what happens, but it is. I guess it's easier. Awesome. So today's topic, I think that you'll have some pretty cool insight on because some things might have happened when you were playing professionally, but I think it's coming up a lot in the esports space a lot, and that's cheating. People being cheating in different ways, either in professional ways. Some of the big things that have happened lately are the young kid, the Fortnite streamer Jarvis, doing some YouTube videos off stream and playing and doing aimbot and saying never do it, but showing like I don't know what the hell he's thinking. He's young, but again, like doing that, and that's cheating in a game. So he was banned for life at this moment. Now, I don't think I honestly truly do not believe like that. I believe that'll be lifted at some point, but it's going to be pretty long. I also was reading. Forgive me, I don't remember the exact team or the player's name, but there was a Rainbow Six Siege player that was basically pre-firing way too easily, and using a macro. They thought he was using a macro to use his operator special in R6. I haven't played R6 a lot, but I know that is something everyone's got like a special thing they do. So that they could get it off as fast as they could. So they could see people basically. And basically they were just banned without like an inquiry. They didn't say anything. They're just, he's banned. And then they didn't say anything about it afterwards. And his whole team was just like removed from the tournament, which is crazy. And then before the World Cup, we had in Fortnite, we had the guys, the guys who may or may they were actually in trouble, but they got the short ban for teaming in a qualification, and then they ended up being in the Fortnite World Cup anyways. So
that was interesting.
So like those three things, right, are all can be considered cheating and against TOS, except they were handled completely different ways. So I guess the question here, or what we'd like your input on, Fear, is when you were playing, did any of this ever? I understand it's consoles a little bit different, right? And it's not, and lands are much harder to cheat in, but like. Was there any huge fiascos like this when you were playing? I mean, you played for a very long time. I'm sure something happened in an online tournament or something. But like, what on those, maybe even those instances, like in terms of the punishment stuff, like what is the right way to handle this stuff?
Man, tough subject, especially with the Fortnite, the whole Jarvis and Ziff situation. Ziff was the guy who, his friends were feeding him kills, and Jarvis was just trying to create content. I think the main thing, the reason, discrepancy, the difference why they were handled so differently, I think, it was in a tournament. So tournament has their own set of rules.
Mm-hmm.
So Ziff was given those certain set of disciplinary rules for, he was disciplined based on those rules. Jarvis was just disciplined based on the general cheating hacking rule. So that is why I think those were handled. And I don't know, that is, I fall. Cheating is bad. Obviously, just don't do it. Be smart. Think about it. I do think it was a little too harsh, but the fact that
on Jarvis, you mean?
On Jarvis, regardless. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's very tough, because hacking is hacking. He did it. It was for content, regardless. And so he got the wrath of Epic Games, just like general rule. Like if you hack, you're banned, and that's it. You can't play the game anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no wiggle room there. That's unfortunately how it is.
That's how it is. And,
like you were directly breaking that rule.
Right. Right. So, and unless they're then they're just playing. He's special. We can't treat him special. We have to treat him like everyone else. So it's just it's just
because
tough.
you run that risk if you
for sure
you are lenient, even if you're fair. You lean unfair or even lean towards lenient, people will think you're being overly lenient because of his name, who he is, the team he's on.
And that just opens Pandora's box for all the people that had been banned for hacking in general. And as far as Halo and my professional experience goes, back then there wasn't a huge. It was hard. Like the only thing you could do kind of, and Trevor, you could kind of probably relate to this, is like, it would be like stealing signs in baseball.
Ooh, that was actually part of this conversation, so I'm glad you brought that up. But yeah.
You could. So in these Halo tournaments, we were playing on main stage. And like all esports stadiums are like, for the viewer, they have huge projection screens of your point of views on. Yeah. So you could technically have the coach or anyone look and see where the other players are at any given time.
Exactly.
That is the only way you could have cheated at a tournament in person. With because it was console, it wasn't really computer, so consoles didn't really have any aim hacks like that.
Pretty
very obvious if they did. It was very locked down. That was the only way of cheating that you really could do, and it was kind of like stealing signs.
Screen cheaters. Screen peeking.
Exactly. And even then, it wasn't. There was never any huge fiascos with it. No one ever got caught if they did it. We couldn't do it because we would literally have to stand up, turn around, look up into the sky, and that would be the only way to do it. And I don't think anyone ever did it. And if they did do it, it would have a very small, minuscule effect for, it's. So it didn't really touch base in the Halo scene at all.
Okay.
And online, you could certainly stand by and cheat. Back in Halo 2, man, woo!
Yeah,
that might have been.
I hated that. So
that could have been
games too, bro.
That for console, that might have been the inaugural, way to cheat. Who knows? Pull the cord.
Cheat.
The original cheat. Pull the Ethernet cord. You're host of the game, and you get to run around and do whatever you want. You steal the flag, plug the Ethernet back in, and everyone comes back, and you're halfway across Zanzibar in a Jeep, in a Warthog, and you're winning the game, and you're just screaming and having fun with your friends.
We're winning.
While everyone else is just banging their monitors, that was definitely a thing back in the day in Halo. It was a huge thing because the Halo, I mean, there was nothing like the Halo 2 ranking system. You literally, ate, slept. That was it. That was your life. That meant the world to you. Mm-hmm. You just ate, slept, breathed your Halo 2 hardcore rank. And so people would just, it got to be, unplayable because people then like started modding and cheating and standbying. You would stand by for host to get host to the game, and then you would cheat in the game. Yeah, it actually ruined the game towards the end of the year of Halo 2. Yeah. But as far as tournaments go, no, I had no experience with it. I believe Counter-Strike over the years has had
their fair share.
Their fair share of like pros with like wall hacks.
Have been caught a lot
in Counter-Strike. Yeah, surprisingly, as big of a competitive scene Counter-Strike. I don't know if it's around anymore, but Counter-Strike has had some issues with that for sure.
It's still a game. Yeah, it is still around. Yep.
It's just the name.
I just meant the cheating in it.
People still play it. Yeah,
people still play that game.
Yeah.
Evil Genius is one of the best teams in the world.
It's still got a great pro scene, man. I mean, that's probably one of the best, longest.
My dying wish would that Halo would make some sort of comeback like Counter-Strike made. And fingers crossed, December 3rd, Halo touches down on the PC for the first time. Halo Reach is coming out on Steam. Should be a good time. I would love to play with you guys.
That would be great.
Oh, we're doing it, dude. Launch day. Let's go. Let's get it.
I will be. Yeah. I mean, it's Halo Reach wasn't a bad game actually. As far as Halos go, it's like if you take away the sprint and the bloom, which I think are like the competitive, settings now. It's actually a pretty good 4v4 competitive balance game. And I'm excited to see how it plays on PC. I really am.
Same.
That game was the very first game for me, actually, that I stood in line for.
Halo Reach?
GameStop. Yeah, Halo Reach.
Oh, no. I feel bad for you.
Everyone hyped it up so much. Like, Halo Reach, it's going to be nuts. Like, there's different Spartans now. It's not just Master Chief. Like, it's going to be a big deal. And I was like, sick. There's like 5 other people there and a Pizza Hut. And I was like, not what I thought.
I did that for World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King, and it was at Burger King.
Burger King? What are these? They're having releases
at Burger King.
Oh, yeah, you've never been to a release, dude? Oh, you played Halo.
I've been to, like, I stand, out of GameStop,
Yeah. Yeah, like you get your copy, or like you reserved it. So what happened was, and then they gave it to you at like the little release party that was like at a fast food place.
I've never heard of it.
So like you were already on the list. You were just there with all the other people from your town that loved WoW, which was not the coolest group of people. But it's crazy. We're all there. We're like, whoa, you guys all play. So we actually found some guys I actually joined the guild from Lich King. The guild I ended up raiding hardcore with was I met the one of the guys from that.
That's awesome.
Just eating Happy Meals and raiding.
Love it.
Some caves.
Community.
God, it was so fun. I love that game so much. But yeah, I mean, it's cheating sucks. We right now are going through that in baseball. Again, it's the same situation. Yeah. The crazy thing about it is it's definitely more on the Jarvis side than the Ziff side. Because there is a written black and white rule says you cannot use technology to steal signs. You cannot do this, and you cannot watch the game in real time in your clubhouse or anything where you can get signs.
So maybe for the layman, right? That's here that doesn't fully understand what is, because I remember hearing about this even years ago, like so and so, like I think the Red Sox, back in the day were stealing signs or whatever it was, and I was like, what is the big deal for looking over at so and so and being like, I think that means they're gonna steal, and then like figuring out that that's what that means. That just seems like why shouldn't you be able to do that, or is that not what it is?
That is the game. So like if I'm out there and I'm like moving my hands weird when I throw balls, and he goes like, guys, he's throwing curveballs every time he does that, and you picked up a tell, that's fine. It's like poker. You picked up a tell. Now when there's nobody on base, so there's no one on base, when you usually just get one sign from the catcher because no one can see it. Like you're not supposed to be able to see it. Okay. So the problem is, and then when there was a guy on second, you change up your sequence into some code, like a whatever. A popular one is like you put down one sign, and then the next time that sign comes down, it's the one right after that. Like chase the sign, chase your indicator or whatever. Yeah. So you go boom boom. The guy puts down 5 signs. You know which one it is, but they don't necessarily know. And the only way they figure out what that sequence is if a guy's on second forever, because he can actually see in guy on second base, can see it. So if he figures it out there and then starts giving it away, that's on you. You need better signs. That's all fine. But if you have a camera in center field that is seeing all the one signs, and then you change the signs, but it doesn't matter because you're changing the signs, but then someone's watching that the whole time. They figured it out pretty quickly because they're seeing every pitch instead of just when the guy was on second base. You see how this becomes a huge problem?
For sure. Okay. So this is similar to like screen peeking in Halo.
It's exactly the same. Yes.
Master.
That's why,
monitor.
So, and then not only that, they were telling the guy hitting what it was. So he was
like signs. Was it something like banging?
They were banging on a trash can. So like it's like most relievers, for example, most relievers like they throw hard, but they throw like one good off speed pitch and then heaters. Like that's usually their 2-pitch guy. For most of the time, they have one pitch they go to all the time. So that makes eliminating them very easy if someone's cheating and telling you. So like they'll be like off speed or fastball. Like that's pretty easy to tell. 1 hit or 2 hits. And guys were like, dude, this is my best pitch. And they're swinging it. They're like fouling it off. Like they know it's coming. Like, and I've had times in that park where I felt like that. I'm like, are my pitches like up on the screen behind me? Like, what the hell's going on?
Really? So you felt that actively before this even came out?
I've felt it before. And it was in 2018 was when I felt it. And then, but they're notoriously like, we always thought they were just picking them up or picking up tells because they were good at that too. So everyone's like, oh, it's the Astros. We got to be careful. But in reality, it turns out they were literally cheating. So,
what do you think the repercussions of that World Series? Like, they're not gonna.
I have no idea. They're gonna. You can't take away. It's not like
it's not like you could strip a.
They're not gonna take it away because it's a business. So that would be like, it's hard to like say, hey,
give us the
you
money
owe
back.
us. You you can fine them, which will probably happen in a big way, but the draft is probably going to get decimated. They'll be like, you don't get any drafts in the first 5 rounds. For 3 years. Because that's crazy. That's insane. Not getting a top 5 round pick for 3 years or something, that would like cripple you. Yeah, Getting first rounders is really important to baseball. Wow. Really. Because all their best players are first rounders, literally their whole team. Alex Bregman, Altuve. Oh, Altuve's not. He's a free agent sign. They found him out of nowhere. But Correa, first rounder. Verlander was a first rounder, but not by them. But like everyone who really was their best players was first rounders. So they built the core of their team around their first round picks. So if they don't get any, it's gonna. I don't know how it's gonna happen. It doesn't make me very happy because I have 4 runs on my ERA from that game where they all
of course.
But yeah, it's like there's a direct. Everyone's like, well, yeah, but everyone's doing it. But I'm like, yeah, but there's a direct rule against it. Like it's not gray area. There's black and white. It's very clear. Yeah. I think that in that situation you have to be stricter when they're directly breaking a rule, as opposed to like a gray area. Like, were they doing it? They probably were, but we don't have hard evidence. So let's ban them for a little bit and then give them another chance. But anyway, moving on, we have a fun game to play. Now it is the same game we played last week, but the reason I want to do it again, I added some specifically for you, Fear. But it's basically which is better. I'm going to give you 2 options. You got to answer as fast as you can. But our wonderful producer, PM, created us some background music for the game. And that's why we're going to do it again, because I want to use this background music. So
you just wanted to make it special for me.
I wanted to make it special.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Right. So this is which is better? Fast answer with Fearitself. Let's get into the game. All right. Halo 2 or Halo 3?
Halo 2.
Ooh.
Easy.
Tacos or burgers?
Burgers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Paul, feel free to do your ding and your bzz.
I totally lost those because I reset my computer. Go ahead.
Okay, never mind. Fortnite Chapter 1 or Chapter 2?
Chapter 1.
I agree. Milk first or cereal first?
Cereal first. People that do milk first, they just do it for views.
Hear that, Gubba?
Hear that, Gubba? We know the real you, Gubba. We all know when the camera's off, you put the cereal first.
Yeah. All right. Zoomers or boomers?
Boomers. Because I'm basically a boomer.
Heck yeah.
I'm getting out there. Boomers.
Yeah, that was for you.
That's right.
Inception or Interstellar?
I've never seen Inception.
Oh my god! Get out, from rock, and watch the Majesty of Space one time. Actually, you would enjoy it. It's a good movie. But
You hear that, Dr. Lupo? Suck it.
They're great. I could watch them back to back over and over again. Both. So, here's one for the Courage fans: Transformers or Star Wars?
Star Wars. I mean, come on. Transformers is like
What?
the first Transformers was good, and that was it.
Yeah.
And that's just because everything's new and fresh.
Yep.
And I'm a big Shia LaBeouf fan myself. So
There you go. Me too. I like Shia.
I like Shia a lot.
All right. Mouse and keyboard or controller?
Mouse and keyboard, man.
Nice.
Which is surprising because I'm a 15 professional vet on a controller, but I like challenges. It's the superior.
It is.
It's a superior race.
You can just get better.
You could
There's a higher ceiling, right?
So the higher ceiling is very high. You know, I look up to Shroud and freaks like that, and like, well, I'll never be like it, but I at least could appreciate it now.
Oh yeah.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox, not even close.
Wow.
Not even close.
Overall or recently?
Overall, who bought a PlayStation until like Call of Duty? I guess
It's true.
So much for a fast fire game. We actually, the game has gone past the length of the song. So, MySpace or Facebook?
MySpace.
Yeah.
Wow.
MySpace. MySpace. Oh,
AIM or
yeah.
MSN Messenger?
AIM. I was an AIM user.
Dude.
I was huge. I was both.
MSN.
Throw
that last question out. Who's going to answer MSN?
I mean,
That's ridiculous.
I was an MSN guy for a long time, but I did both.
What?
Yeah,
That's why it's in there.
That's why.
That's absolutely why I was in there. They had better emotes. Okay.
Oh, my
Thank you
God.
for playing the game, Justin. That was fun. And thank you, PM, for your new TikTok music in the background. We're gonna be using that a lot. I love it. Custom made. Our producer's the best producer there is.
The best.
All right.
PM, killing it.
You're
All right,
welcome.
So, absolutely. All right. So, next segment is pretty straightforward. Well, actually, I don't know how straightforward it is, but this kind of changes for me personally, day to day. Not really day to day, but week to week. But who is your favorite as of right now, Justin? Your favorite content creator? Can be outside of Twitch, outside of streaming, pure content. Doesn't really matter what it is. Who's your favorite right now?
I haven't had internet for the past 2 weeks. The amount of Twitch I've watched has been shocking this month. Who do I turn on? I go from, I will watch the professional Fortnite, some of like the crazy kids. Like I watch Clicks a lot. Not my favorite, like overall, but like if I'm gonna watch pro Fortnite, I'll watch Clicks.
You watch Clicks. Okay.
I would, you know what? I enjoy probably Tim. Tim. Yeah.
Fair. Tim the Tat Man.
watching
Tim.
Tim.
Right?
Tim the Tat Man, everybody.
Tim the Tat Man, everybody.
Tat Man.
We
You
by
know,
principle do not say Tim. Me and Paul do not, but it's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Nice to hear.
Tim the Tat
He's-
Man.
He's funny, man.
Pretty
He's
good.
He's a
Very
content-
relatable guy.
He really
relatable
is.
guy.
He's our
He really-
friend. We like
know.
hanging out with him IRL. He's a good dude.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He's funny, dude. He's a funny guy, and he's
Funny
really
guy.
good at enunciating his f bombs, which is just
He's got some of the
something
best
about it.
F bombs.
Something about it, dude.
Have either of you
Wow.
watched? I'll throw a content creator
Okay.
out there
Yeah,
for you
for
guys
sure.
if you haven't seen
That'd be
it.
great.
And
What's this
if you've never seen, and this falls heavily on the content creation entertainment side,
Yeah.
of like think of like Doc, but like times by 10.
No way.
Sushi
Okay.
Dragon.
Sushi Dragon.
Never heard of
Sushi Dragon. Give him
Is
a
it
One
follow.
word, 2 words. Is it YouTube, Twitch?
Twitch. The Sushi Dragon.
The
So
Sushi
there's a
Dragon on
the.
Twitch.
Yes, the Sushi Dragon. Just watch some. I mean, he's does more things with the green screen you will ever see, and it is pure production. The most pure production stream I've ever witnessed. And he's recent, and he's only been around for I think a couple months, and he's already like, I think averages like 1.5K concurrent viewers. He's for production standpoint, you'll like him.
All right.
It's a little over the top, but just it'll open your eyes and like, man, I could be doing a lot more stuff with my stream.
Yeah, that's good. Good to bring it up right now too, because we're all stuff at the moment. Awesome. Does Sushi Dragon on Twitch? I will check them out right now. The one I have to recommend is someone who's been on YouTube for a very, very long time. They don't make very many YouTube videos. They don't make them very often. But there's something about this guy is he's just viral. You've all seen his videos. Everyone's seen one at least. If you're on Reddit or if you've been alive at all in the last 10 years, you've seen a video. Seth Everman. Do you guys know who Seth Everman is? He does like covers on the piano of songs.
Yes.
And he's Swedish and he's got a bald. He makes funny faces.
One of his was like the Dr. Dre.
The Dr. Dre thing. The dun, 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 dun.
Yes. I think that was his most viral.
Yeah, probably. He did some stuff on Vine. And he's done some stuff with 10 songs in a minute. Who's that guy does that? Or 10 songs, 60 seconds. And he's done some stuff with him. He's a master meme artist. All of his videos are funny. It's just Seth Everman, all one word. You should check him out because he does like one video a month, but they're like weird and they're kind of for boomers too. I think he's in his 30s, so like it's a lot of there's like a lot of like Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 references and stuff a lot.
Gotcha.
But I just recently went back and watched them all again. I was like, okay, this guy's going to be my recommendation if people haven't seen him.
Just got my subscription. Just subscribed.
There you go. What do you got, Paul? You're muted, just if you're wondering.
Am I muted?
Yep.
Look at that. All right. Sorry, I was coughing. I guess I forgot to mute because I have the plague. So my favorite content creator right now is a buddy of mine. I met him at TwitchCon at a Fortnite mixer, which I was lucky enough to be invited to, which is very, very kind of them to invite me to this. Kind of more of a soiree, little small kind of event, a little cocktail hour. And I met this guy actually on his way out. He was just saying bye to someone I was talking to, and then he was going to leave, and then we ended up talking for like another hour. His name is Squatting Dog on Twitch mainly, and he also is a phenomenal content creator. He does so if you haven't seen his stream, he does a lot of the Fortnite like treasure maps, essentially. I think that's what they're called. I'm not 100% sure if that's the correct name, but like how to complete all the challenges.
Oh, okay.
So he'll make amazing graphical overlays. He's also a graphic designer and does amazing graphical overlays for Fortnite challenges. So if you're looking for a Fortnite challenge, he has made a map for it already. So he knows where all the special things are and all this kind of stuff. And he also has an app on Android and iOS for the very same thing. So he's made an app. What?
Was he Tim for for Halloween?
He was Tim for Halloween.
Okay, yep. I saw that picture. Yeah.
He does great green screen work. And he's incredible. So he has his own jersey. He has his content, and the quality of the content is, so he's almost like kind of a Sushi Dragon in a way, but not as slapsticky, but the level of time and effort you can tell that someone puts into their work, top notch stuff. So so check out his app. Complete those challenges before January.
And it's Squatting Dog on Twitch too?
Squatting Dog. Yep. Squatting Dog on Twitch. Yes. Yep.
Awesome.
He's amazing.
Really, really great. See, this might be my favorite segment of our show. I feel like this is the best thing, we do. I think it's great that not only that we get good ideas for guests in the future, but we also can shout out some of our favorite people that are all out there making content, and maybe even our inspirations for stuff we do. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? It could be anything. So that actually concludes the episode 4 with Fearitself. Before we go, though, we would love. I'll just do this first part, Paul, and then you can go from there. All right?
Yeah, by all means, go ahead.
Fear, what is next for your stream? We know that you just got internet. So like, what do we got going? It's December. We know December is huge for content creation. You got any events going on? You got anything going for Christmas? What do you got?
What's the fat reveal?
Yeah,
oh
merch.
Man,
come on.
Big fat reveal. Streaming is coming back. I'm going to be streaming again.
He's streaming, everyone.
We're back. We're back. Honestly, I'm looking forward to the Halo launch coming December 3rd. I hope it really takes off on PC. It will probably there's going to be I got a sick new camera and a brand new lens. Quality is crisp. So I think December is going to be, a lot of Halo. Maybe, we'll dip into the just chatting realm,
Absolutely.
Sell my, sell my rock hard body that Paul loves to talk about.
Did you lean back from the microphone to like show off your abs? Did that just happen? I felt like that happened.
Is that what you heard?
That's what I heard.
You'll never know. That's why this is a podcast.
Oh my gosh. So, well, Fear, plug your stuff, man. Where can our listeners and viewers find you?
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Hey, loved it. It's been a trip,
pleasure.
guys. Yeah, been a pleasure. You guys could find me. All the listeners could find me on It's Fearitself on Twitter and Instagram, and Fearitself on Twitch and YouTube.
I love that. Fear, thank you again so much for being on the podcast. We've really enjoyed it. I've been looking forward to it. Glad you finally have internet to do it. So it's been great having you, man. Really.
It's been a pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. This is the May Contain Action Podcast. I need an echo on that. You can listen on all major carriers of podcasts, including Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, radio.com, or watch the VOD on YouTube. You can check out my YouTube at youtube.com/ActionJaxon, ActionJaxon, or you can check out Trevor's YouTube as well. YouTube.com/ what is it, Trevor?
IamTrevorMay.
He doesn't know what his YouTube is. Or
it is IamTrevorMay on YouTube.
You can also find me at ActionJaxon BTW on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find my co-host, Trevor May. I am Trevor May on Twitter and YouTube as well. TrevMay65 on Instagram.
That's changing soon. I'm getting over my fear of losing my check. It'll be soon, but for now it's TrevMay65.
Thanks for listening so much. We appreciate it and look forward to the next episode. See you guys then.